Hi everyone. My name is Tatiana Gidirimski and I'm a family law attorney who has been practicing for 22 years. Today I want to talk to you about the 5 stages of divorce so that you know what to expect at each stage. So the first stage of the divorce is filing of the summons and petition for divorce. And petition and summons are 2 simple boilerplate documents. They are available online on Washington Court's website under family law forms, and you should look them up if you're curious. So once the petition and summons are filed, they must be served on your spouse. To do that, you either need to hire a process server or ask your spouse to accept service informally by email or mail. And note that you cannot formally serve these documents yourself. Once you file these documents, the court will issue something called a case schedule if you're in King County. And the case schedule will contain your trial date, which will be approximately 1 year from the date of filing, and also outline the various deadlines in your case that you would have to meet. And of course, your attorney will be there to help you understand these documents, the deadlines, and answer any questions that you might have. So let's say you filed the petitions and summons, and now you need things done right away, such as you need the child support set or a parenting plan entered. What do you do? So this is what I would call stage 2 of your divorce, or the temporary order stage. We call them temporary orders because they only last until the divorce is finalized and the final orders are entered. So during this temporary stage, you can file a motion with the court asking for a number of things. You can ask the court to award you possession of the family home and order the other spouse to move out. You can ask the court for maintenance for yourself or for an award of attorney's fees if you cannot pay your own fees. You can also ask the court to set child support, and you can ask the court to adopt your proposed temporary parenting plan for your kids. Once you file the motion, you'll have a court hearing. And to find more about the court hearings, what they are, how to prepare, and what takes place during them, check out my video about court hearings. So after the court hearing, the court will sign the temporary orders. Alternatively, you and your spouse can avoid the hearing and try to agree on temporary orders amongst yourselves with the help of your attorneys. And this actually happens quite often. But overall, having temporary orders in place can reduce the stress and anxiety of the divorce process. So next, you're going into stage 3, which usually involves discovery. So this is where you and your attorney will collect information necessary from both you and your spouse to eventually use to finalize your divorce. So this includes things like bank account records, financial information, pay stubs, W-2s, tax returns, credit card statements, and things like that. And your attorney can help walk you through and compile this information that you would need for discovery. And the discovery process could involve either formal document collection, where the spouses send the formal discovery requests, or informal discovery exchange. So the formal discovery is different because that's where things are more thorough and all of the questions are answered and signed under oath. A discovery stage may also involve depositions, where you and your spouse or other witnesses will answer questions under oath, and anything you say will be recorded by a court reporter. It is necessary to properly prepare for your deposition because it's a big deal, and your attorney will do that with you. Your attorney will also be there during your deposition to make sure that your spouse's attorney does not ask any improper questions. So once the discovery stage is done, the next stage of the divorce is to try and settle your case. And in most cases, divorces get settled in mediation. And mediation involves taking your case to a neutral third-party professional who has no interest in the outcome and who get paid. These people get paid by both sides. And what they do is they shuttle between you and your spouse and try to bring your case to settlement. In most instances, you and your spouse and both the attorneys will meet at the mediator's office. And during your mediation, you and your attorney will be in one room, and your spouse with their attorney will be in the other room. And the mediator will shuttle back and forth between the two rooms to try and settle the case. So after COVID, this process is frequently done by Zoom. And in my experience, Zoom mediation has been just as effective as in-person mediation. So if the case settles, then the next stage is to draft and file final orders. And after that, you will be done. However, if your case does not settle, then it must be taken to trial, because that's the only other way to get your divorce finalized. And trial preparation and trial work itself is quite an endeavor. It involves a lot of work by both you and your attorney, and unfortunately a lot of expense. There will be additional requests for exchange of information, especially financial information, and your attorney will prepare you and the witnesses for oral testimony. Finally, if you do end up having a trial in family law, the trials are all without the jury. So there's a statute in Washington that provides that family law cases are resolved just by the judge. But not having a jury actually makes the trial process quicker and less expensive. But nevertheless, depending on the complexity of your case, your trial can actually last anywhere from 3 days to 3 weeks in some extreme cases. So there you have it, 5 stages of the divorce.